Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going through the second last trade targets video with round 8 on the horizon. We're doing the trades for them, including in the top 1%, with the big Hobart double game, but also Hobart are coming up against they are coming up against the Melbourne Renegades, who are not in really good form at all, and I feel like could run straight through that batting lineup. But the Brisbane Heat at Brisbane Heat in a do-or-die game for Brisbane is quite an interesting one. Obviously, Hobart do also have the finals locked up. They are trying to look for top spot, having effectively a game in hand on the Sixers, which is almost like a half a game lead in terms of NBA terms, or whatever you want to put there, the American sports. It feels like they're about half a game in front because the Sixers do have the net run rate advantage, but Hobart have the advantage of being able to gain extra points than the Sixers. But anyway, let's jump in. Let's look at the highest ownership changes for the round in the top 1%, and you see obviously Matt Short, big ownership. I should actually probably go to top 5%, as I think these will have a good differential picks, etc. Tim David, I think he's going to be the big one. I think a lot of people are also going to put the VC on him and Jordan. David Warner also has a lot of VCs on the single. I think he could easily get out very, very quickly tonight. Mitch Owen, very big VC down at Ninja Stadium for one of the games, so that could be a really good VC. Especially also, Brisbane has a very short pocket in that to his favourite cow corner type of hitting zone, so that could also be a very good VC. And you can see here my VC at the moment is Chris Jordan. Cooper Connolly also an early VC just because he is playing early. Nathan Ellis, even with the injury concern, still a good VC, I feel like. And Chris Green, I think this is just people languishing and not actually changing. Let's look at the top 1% VCs and look at them. Warner, Jordan, Owen, Ellis, Chowdhury, Green, still VC, but I just don't know about that. Connolly, Matthew Wade, etc. Meredith, Jamie Overton, Barrendorf, etc. Okay, yep, so a lot of people are switched on there. Now let's go back to the top 5% and go to here. So, Tim David, Matt Short, etc. Riley Meredith, all great picks. Matt Short, a little bit worried if they bat second. I feel like at the Adelaide Oval, could be chasing a monster score against the Sixers with Dwarshuis and also the likes of Sean Abbott, but I do not really like the spinners for the Sixers, and we know that Adelaide Oval pitch probably won't change as much. But also, they could be playing at a different pitch. If they are playing at the same, on the same exact wicket as the game against the Brisbane Heat, it could actually be interesting because that'll be another 2 days older as well, and I don't know if they'll be able to if it will be as necessarily as flat. So that could also help out the bowlers. So definitely will be interesting what they say about that in the warm-up as well as the toss there, because if Matt Short isn't batting first there and batting second at Adelaide Oval, it could be a little bit dicey there, especially because I don't expect him to bowl much, if any. So yeah, that could be a little bit interesting, as I feel like they'll go Darcy Short over him. Meredith, understand this pick. I was tossing and throwing him and also Tim David, and I feel like I want to go Tim David and go out a little bit bold with that, even though Tim David is higher ownership change this round by like another 80 odd people. So yeah, definitely interesting, I feel like, with that regard. And so yeah, that is definitely a pick that I agree with, I would say, with regard to Riley Meredith coming in over the likes of other bowlers. Interesting to see that Riley Meredith is favoured over Nathan Ellis, even though Nathan Ellis should get the death roll. I feel like they messed it up slightly in terms of the overs for Hobart last game as well. So with Nathan Ellis hopefully not colliding with a bloody outfield fence, I feel like him and Jordan are the best bowlers at the death, and I think it pretty much showed that with in the Thunder game. I felt like Chris Jordan was underutilized in that game, and he could have easily restricted it by another 5 or 10 runs in the last couple of overs there, but he wasn't bowled too much. So it will just be interesting to see how that plays out, and how Nathan Ellis decides to use his bowlers. Chowdhury, I'm intrigued to see if he maybe takes an over or two off of Peter Hatziglu. I did initially have Peter Hatziglu inside my setup, but I'm just worried that Chowdhury could provide a very similar thing, but also just if Hatziglu isn't actually bowling well, that Chowdhury is the like-for-like easy replacement there. So just wondering how they go there. So I don't necessarily disagree with those bringing in Chowdhury, because he could also score 20 with the bat very, very easily. They have the Renegades first up, don't they, at Ninja. He could easily put on 20-30 in the late game there. 20-30 at a good clip, and suddenly he's on 50 with a chance of, with 2 chances to potentially bowl and also bat again. That could easily turn into a 120 quite easily. Chris Jordan, I feel like, is the guy that could easily score 45 with the bat so quickly, just through getting to his 20, and then pick up 1 or 2 in the death overs there, and then suddenly he's on like 90 with a game to go. Mitch Owen, this is high risk, high reward stuff. With him on the double against Melbourne Renegades, maybe you go for him over like a Smith or something like that, but sometimes you just want the premium guys in there, and I feel like Smith is able to set the innings up, and I feel like against Duckett, Haskett and guys like that, I feel like he just will be able to take the advantage against that attack. David Warner, understand why people are probably doing it. I just, against Perth Scorchers, I feel like, especially because Perth will have the 3 spinners, and I feel like that that pitch will be a little bit not as helpful to spin. So I'm just wondering if the likes of the Perth attack with Spores, Agar, and also Connolly will be able to get David Warner early, especially because they are fighting for their season, even though they've been absolutely horrific this year. Wakeham, I'm doing it at the moment. I'm waiting on the likes of a Colin Munro news. Even though if we just look here for Colin Munro, I can easily swap this. Batters, Brisbane. You'll probably see him in the negatives. Nisa being traded out by a lot. I wouldn't trade him out just based on one performance. That was a horrific pitch. And Colin Munro is still owned by 2.9. I'm still waiting on the Colin Munro news, because that could be a wild swing for the fences, I feel like. If we do get a failure from Ashton Turner and also Chris Green in the first game of tonight's game, that could be an easy swing that you go to, or at least for me, someone like that, or a Fraser McGurk or something. Let's actually check a Fraser McGurk. Let's check how Fraser McGurk's ownership is going. Bethel down by quite a lot because he's going soon. And you've got Fraser McGurk. Where's Fraser McGurk? Still 13% owned. So yeah, that could be a decent swing there, just doing that. So you have that. Then we talked about Wakeham. Abbott is reliable. 2 games left for Abbott. I feel like Adelaide Oval though, I just wouldn't be trading in the Sixers bowlers, given what we saw from Michael Nisa, Xavier Bartlett, Spencer Johnson, guys that do not blanking on that pitch. I just don't know. Even though we do know that they will be probably playing on a pitch that is more conducive, I feel like, to pace bowlers, or just bowlers in general than that. It's quite hard to get a pitch that is absolute flatter than that, because legitimately slow balls were doing nothing, off cutters were doing nothing, late cutters, etc. They were just going straight on. So it is quite hard to have a pitch that does favour batters more than that. But it is Adelaide Oval. They've been a 180 plus. They've been I'm pretty sure it was something like 9.27 or 9.24. It was like 2841 divided by 267, I want to say, or something like that. Or 268, 2481 divided by 273 maybe. No, 2481, 2461. 2461 divided by 273. Nope, that's not right. 2461 divided by 267. Something like that. Times by 267 plus another, 250 or so 450 divided by like 308 or so. I think the average run rate since the start of BBL 13 at Adelaide Oval is like 9.45 or so and over. I think that's way too expensive to be trying to gamble on a bowler that bats 8 also. So I just have a sneaky feeling that Sean Abbott, I just don't like the pick this round. I think you've got to wait next round when they play at the SCG. I want to say they play at the SCG or NG Stadium for the final round. Let's just check. They play at the SCG against the Thunder. I'd be going for him on the single, to be honest with you. I don't like it, but it's Sean Abbott. He's a premium for a reason. He's probably going to find a way. When there's a will, there's a way, is a saying I use quite a lot. Cooper Connolly, that role, it probably looks good now. And I traded him out, of course, because, that's just the way it is this year. I think he looks all right at the moment. Hardy could be back bowling, though, which could just be a little bit annoying. but in that on that pitch, it could actually help him quite a lot that it's a spinner-friendly pitch. So, yep, probably a trade-in at that at this point. Darcy Short, what the heck happened there? What's his break-even? -23, so he's going to bat like 6 and probably bowl a little bit, so that'll be interesting. Moses Henriquez, no, he just had to take an over because he stuffed up as a captain. Billy Stanley, well, he went for the kill as a captain, and that pitch, just the short boundary, meant that the game was still always alive. Billy Stanley, understand that on the double. Ashton Turner, I wouldn't be trading him, but I'd probably be holding him just to see if he can go well. Aaron Hardy is like one bad game away from... You could honestly, if he gets an over or two and doesn't perform, or even if he does perform, could be a buy in the last round just because the Perth Scorchers against Adelaide at Optus Stadium could be a buy if they're fighting for their season, especially with the likes of a Guy Richardson now to feel like he starts to get more overs, so that'll be an interesting discussion there. So yeah, he's one that I potentially will look at in the last game of the year. Ben DeWashis at Adelaide Oval, I think he's probably going to do really well with the bat there, but with the ball could be interesting. I don't think I'd buy just on that basis. Sweeney, Harriman, we're getting into guys that are basically basement and you're just trying to find a point of difference. And yeah, that pretty much is that for the trade targets. Who's getting traded out quickly here? Stoinis, understand that on the buy, only one game left when you can get two games for a guy the same price. Green, understand that Agar, he's out of the squad. I traded him out because he just is out of the squad. No point having him. Bethel, Maxwell, Overton isn't. It's got one game left, I'm pretty sure. Jai Richardson is out for the year with the shoulder surgery, and then you have Finn Allen, who I'm trading out as well, and Thornton, Nessa, Bartlett. I feel like these are responsive trades to the pitch at Adelaide Oval, and I feel like you should be more looking at the who's playing there at Adelaide Oval, and then who's also, I guess that the Brisbane boys aren't going to be playing at Adelaide Oval this week. So yeah, that's what I'd be just looking at. But anyway, that is the trade targets for BBL SuperCoach Round 8, the second last trade targets video for the season. And I guess if you guys did enjoy that, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. If you're listening along on Spotify, give me a follow and a 5-star rating over there. And I'll see you guys back tomorrow for the review of the Sydney Thunder versus Perth Scorchers game. So I'll see you guys in that review. Bye guys.